This video is for our very good friend Andrew, and I hope I'm not pronouncing your title wrong, Wertheimer from the United States, I mean from America. Andrew has requested me to do a video about the Kolkata Boi Mela, the Kolkata Book Fair, about the Sulekha stall in the book fair, and to show him any other fountain pen or stationery related shops that were there at the book fair. Now, what I did was I went back to the big book fair to take some shots. Now, my mistake was I took my shots in my mobile phone in the vertical mode because the person who guides me in all these things was under the impression that I will be doing these shorts videos, but Andrew wanted a bigger one. So we will be using those shots to show you around, and I'll give you a small commentary about the book fair. You know, the Calcutta Book Fair is more than a fair. It's not a fair, it's kind of a partly religious, partly social, partly cultural kind of an event for which there are people who wait for the entire year for the book fair to spend the 14-15 days of the fair there at the fairground. The entire publishing industry here revolves around the book fair. There's a huge amount of public interest, as you will see from the small shots that I have taken. I apologize, these shots are not of the quality that I would have wanted to show you, or you would have wanted, or you would want to see the kind of pictures, but please forgive me. The thing is, this year the book fair was being held after 2 years of COVID and restrictions and things like that. So probably because of that, there was a kind of a deluge in the book fair, and Saturdays, I mean, we have had 2 weekends. Today is a Sunday, the weekend before the last weekend, and this Saturday also. There were times when I felt that, there will be a stampede. And there were so many people. There were different kinds of people. There were different, I mean, what I saw is, I was so scared. So many other people keep on mentioning the fact that young people don't read books, but it was so heartening to see so many young guys and girls, young people going into the book fair, putting their hair down, having fun. Okay, there was the huge amount who were just there taking selfies, but the point is they were taking their selfies with the major publishers at the background. So at the least they were aware about the publishers, about the kind of books that were there, and it's always heartening to see young people in socio-cultural events like this. There were also, predictably, there were also these old, almost decrepit people who were trudging along, but with a lot of dignity, to their respective book stalls, looking for kind of books. I went into the Asiatic Society stall with one of my friends, one of my senior colleagues, who's been like a mentor to me, and he bought a book which was about the Mughal era. This book was out of print for the last 3 decades, and when he just snapped it up. He paid a huge amount of money. He just snapped it up, and there was one young lady who asked him, "Will you have enough time to read such a huge book?" So he said, "I won't do anything else." That kind of people, they were there. and there were others also who parents goading their children to pick up good habits. There were so many people from schools, so it was a huge crowd, and it's very heartening. And I talked to a number of publishers and booksellers. What they have all told me is that sales have been good, sales have been better than average, and they are more or less, people are happy. Now the book fair is also about a lot of art. So in the fringes on the road that was in the circumference of the fair, this thing, there were many artists and many trinket sellers who were given space on the footpaths, and it was so heartening to, so I was such a happy thing to notice so many people crowding in their stalls, art being appreciated, art being people paying good money to buy their products, to encourage them to buy their products, to consume. Okay, there were people in the food stalls. They were probably as crowded as the book stalls, but I think the basic purpose of the book fair was served. Now, the third question about other pen and ink manufacturers, no, there were not any other brand of, not at least of fountain pen or inks. There were people selling stationery products as part of children's school books, like pencils and stuff, but no fountain pens and inks. And Sulekha was in its, I mean, Sulekha is now 89 years old, and it was for the first time that they participated in the book fair, and it was huge. It was huge. I have been associated with this this process of goading Sulekha and preparing it for taking part in the book fair. So this was beyond my expectation. The kind of love and affection that was showered by the people. People like old people and young people carrying their young children. Oh, there's a Sulekha, let's go. That was the ink I used to use when I was a kid, and that was the ink that I wrote my doctoral thesis with, I wrote my first exam with. And the children asking, Mom, what kind of an ink is that? What is a fountain pen? And their moms and dads so excitedly showing them the pens. This was such a great feeling. I mean, I will not be able to explain it with words. It was a kind of an emotional connect that people had with Sulekha. And believe me, the Sulekha stall was like jam-packed all through the time. Sales have been beyond phenomenal. I mean, nobody in the Sulekha team had expected the kind of sales that they achieved in the book fair. They ran out of their fountain pens. Some of the popular inks like blue and black and green were also exhausted. Today is the last day. But what I did is, in order to do this video, I went back to the book fair yesterday, and I went at a time that was before the book fair had officially opened. I thought I will, take some snaps of the Sulekha shop and the surroundings of the book fair to show you. I thought I'll do that without the crowd, but I couldn't. I was there from about 11 to 4 in the afternoon, so these shots are during that period, and it was pleasant. Kindly, it's getting hotter here in the eastern parts of India, and I hope you enjoy the video. I mean, please take a look at the Sulekha stall, look at the kind of people, the kind of energy that was emanating from that stall, the kind of love and affection with which people were approaching the stall, the hard work that all the people in the Sulekha counters put in. And believe you in me, they have been doing this standing in a 100 square feet area for the last at least 10 days, and from morning to about 8:39 at night. and it's hot inside the stall because of the lights and everything, and it's so suffocating. So hats off to the Sulekha team, and hats off to all the people who were, taking children to pick up the fountain pens. I think my purpose in life is served. Uh, it was a so happy thing to see young children asking their parents to buy them a fountain pen, instead of uh, a game that kills people, or instead of another mobile phone, or a very costly pair of running shoes, or some frivolous thing. But to me, others, of course, I shouldn't use the word frivolous, but to me, a fountain pen, of course, is like something like God's scepter. And I was so happy to see Sulekha make a comeback, because that's a Swadeshi brand. It has a history. It has a rich, rich history. It has given so much to India, and it has so much more to give to our children, to our generation, to the generations that will come, into the people of the world at large. So, like, I'll salute ink and fountain pens. I will salute writing. I will salute all the people who have made the book fair a success. And Andrew, I hope you like this. Thank you.